All right, you guys. So this is the course right here to how to do your own credit report. Okay, that way you don't got to depend on nobody else but yourself. You don't need to depend on. You don't have to pay no high price company to do something that you can do. So just give you a little layout of what's to expect in the next coming modules. It's gonna begin with step 1. Okay, then you'll finish module 1 and you'll go to step 2. Everything is pretty much done for you as far as the steps. Okay, be conscious that at the end of every film, at the module at the bottom, you should have PDFs to download. If not, then it didn't apply to that certain module, and don't worry about it. If there wasn't a PDF, what I tried to do instead, I tried to give you guys your templates as we go, and the process as we go. That way you know what templates, and you start getting familiar with the templates and when do they go out, and so just be conscious about that. I extend that to you guys to read them, study them, get familiar with them, familiarize yourself with them before beginning your dispute process, before taking your first step. Okay, understand what you're doing, get a good understanding of it, because it's easy, but it's also very easy to slip up and skip a step. And the problem with skipping a step is once you send out a piece of mail, there's really no pulling it back. And so you send that out to the creditor, the furnisher, the bureau. You just can't pick up the phone, call them and say, oh, I sent you the wrong letter, because they're going to use that letter as their defense to not have to comply with what you're asking for. Okay. So remember, guys, this is basically, it's when you're disputing, you got to get into your mind that it's not so much the let me say, okay, it's not so much whether or not we're not lying. Okay, that's okay. So I'm not giving legal advice. I don't give legal advice. Okay, I would never do that. I'm not an attorney. I would never tell you what to do. This is educational program. This is an educational platform. It's for educational purposes, and that is all. Okay. But it's also good to know, it's important to know that you know where your rights are. You fall under a blanket of law, okay? And that's how we win disputes, okay? We use the law and we look for the mistakes. They find the mistakes, we find the mistakes as well. And then once we find the mistake, okay, once we went through our credit report and we found the error that was a mistake, okay, we circled it and we brought it up as a dispute. And I gave you a list of many reasons as to why. It pretty much covers, all the errors that have occurred in the past to others and continue to do so. Or you might have your own certain dispute in your own words, but they're there for you to use. And so you remember, it's the collection agencies, and sometimes they're humans. Okay, creditors are humans. The credit bureaus, the people that work there actually are human beings. So anybody who is actually typing something into their computer system can make a mistake. Mistakes are made every day, and it's called human error. Okay, and so it's up to you to find the error and then dispute. So follow the step-by-steps. Make sure to keep in mind the PDFs that will be happening down there. Okay. What have I got to say about somebody who doesn't want to do their own credit report, who doesn't want and rather pay a company to do it for them? If you fall under that category, and for some reason or another, I get it, you don't want it, to do the credit repair yourself, and you want another company to do it. Well, I will have down there a link at the end of the course. Okay, I will have a link to a company, okay, that will, give you the discount rate because you are the member, okay, and you'll get a good discount rate. But I still urge you to do it yourself. I urge you. You came this far, you wanted to learn. You're on this platform. Do it yourself. You know, I'm giving you the tools to do it yourself. You'll be able to do it so much quicker, so much faster than a company that's got to deal with, you know, thousands and thousands of people. You know, remember, you're one person. You're one person who's starting off brand new. You know, this is such a simple step-by-step procedure that if you don't want to do it, teach your daughter, teach your son, teach a friend, show a friend, say, hey, you know what? I want you, I want you to watch these videos, and I want you to do this for me, please. And in return, go ahead and do yours too. You know, that's an incentive to give somebody, you know, that's a huge gift. I mean, if somebody would have said, hey, Brian, you know what? Do me a favor, years back. I need you to do this for me, and maybe you can, and then you could get something out of it too. I would have jumped on it. You wouldn't have to ask me twice. So, you know, it's not often that you actually get a course like this. It's not often you get an opportunity like this where you're actually going to get the whole step-by-step process, the whole game, you know, that companies such as mine and such as companies that I know of and that you've probably heard of, you know, are doing every day. You know, is there's a process out there, you know, and that's what people don't want to give up, you know. So me coming onto this stage right now and giving you that wealth of information, giving you that, I feel like it's a gift, you know, where the value of what you paid for this class and the value that you're getting here is so much more, worth so much more what you're getting here than what you paid. You know, somebody once told me, and it was my mentor, you know, and he asked me a question. He asked me, would you rather buy your time? Would you rather pay for time, buy time, or would you rather trade your time for money? I had to think about that. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that question, and then towards the end, you figure out if you're gonna answer it or not. Or maybe I just give it to you right now. What that means, because it took me a moment to process it. What it means is, you know, I'm sorry, but if you're working an 8-hour day and you're working 8 to 5, you're never gonna get past a certain bracket. You're gonna stay there, and you may love your job or you may hate it, but you got to do it, right? Because you got to pay the bills. That's trading your time for money, because that time you can't get back. It's time away from your family. It's time away not doing the things you want to do. So I urge you guys to grab this, to get a hold of this, to succeed in your credit report, where you understand it so good that you can open your business and you can help thousands of people and hundreds of people. Think about how many people you can help just knowing the credit report game, just knowing how to do it yourself. Credit repair, you know? And there's so much more to the credit world, to this credit, which you're going to learn here, but this is where it begins. You know, it begins with repairing our credit. It begins with staging our report so we can repair our credit. Okay? I would rather pay for time, like when I paid for my education in the credit courses, to know what I know today, so I can live the life that I want, to be with my family, to do things I want to do. Because this life, one thing guaranteed is the clock don't stop for nobody. So pay attention to what's going on down here. Pay attention to the PDFs. If you don't see them, don't worry about it. Move on to the next module. And I'll see you at the next class. Welcome to In It to Win It.